Well, as you can see, we are releasing the Unexpected Beauty, and this is all about gorgeous cactus in just a beautiful setting. We've got all of these and some wonderful projects to share with you. In fact, here's one. You are my smile each day, and boom, how fun is that? Okay, please come play with us. Okay, before we get into Lene's projects, I just want to show you what's in this collection. Now, we're going to begin with our 12 by 12 pattern cardstock, and they are double-sided. There are 58 cutouts included, and this is 176 GSM, 65-pound cover. Always on the packaging, we have a scrapbook page as well as a card, because as we know, both of them work perfectly. Unexpected Beauty solid cardstock, 12 pieces of cardstock. There are 2 each of the colors that you can see here. Absolutely gorgeous. And then we have 31 die cuts, and these are just going to pop right out. They have the artwork with greetings and sentiments, and some of them just have the artwork, so you can mix and match and play with that. Again, there are ideas on the back of the package. We also have the Unexpected Beauty in 6 by 6. Now, you're going to get 4 sheets of every single paper, and there are going to be 116 cutouts. Yes, just absolutely perfect. Again, there is an idea on the back of the package. And we also have the chipboard. Now, the chipboard has 14 pieces, and wait till you see when these are used, because they are just gorgeous. Yes, there is an idea on the back of the package. Do you love that we do that? And Unexpected Beauty cutting dies. There are 18 pieces, and you can see that you can really mix and match. There is a container if you want to put them in a container, and stuck on you is the verbiage. So, and again, yes, there is an idea on the back of the package. So I'm going to pull these aside, and actually just one other thing I want to tell you that has not been used in this webisode are these dazzles. These are called succulents. They come in one package with black, white, gold, and silver, and you can get an idea of what those look like right there. So I just wanted to make sure that you knew, because they are a perfect accompaniment to the papers. And before we get into the cards, I want to share this scrapbook page with you that Debbie did. And you can see the paper, and the 2 photos are matted and overlapping, and there are the cutouts from the 12 by 12 pattern cardstock included. Okay, now that's enough of the things that are going on. Let's go into the cards and get in closer. This is a 5 by 6.5 inch card, our general size. And what I want to share with you is that first, the card was covered with the green cardstock, and you can see that right there as well as right here. And that just kind of gets things off to a roaring start. And then Lene took this paper. This is the pattern cardstock. And what I want to share with you, so we're going to back up just a bit. And when these papers are being designed, I use this. This is a pattern. It has a cutout that is the size of our cards, and you can see it right there. And I use this so that if you want to make 4 cards out of one 12 by 12 piece, this is the way you might do it. So like that would be 1 card, because the artwork works, or you could go horizontally. The artwork also works there. Then you can go vertically here. You could go horizontally there. You could go vertically there. Whoops, okay. Or you could go horizontally there. So it just makes sure that we are making products that are very useful and very user-friendly, and that's, of course, our goal. Now, this area is what Lene used on the front of her card, and obviously she trimmed it down a little bit smaller than the 5 by 6.5, so probably 4 3/4 by 6 1/4, pretty standard sizes for the cards. And then she did use either the blending brush or the round tool. Lene loves to use the round tool like this, and gingerbread to go on the edges of her paper, and that just worked well before she glued it to the front of her card. And you can see with that artwork, it's practically finished. It just works really, really well. That happy birthday is also in the paper pack. And there it is. It's part of the cutouts. So just right there, it's already matted for you. So all you'll do is simply foam tape it in place. Now these pieces are coming from the cutting die right here. Let me move gingerbread over. So this cactus, and then some of the flowers right here. And you can see that they have some shading on them. So to begin with, that green that covered the card was used, and then also this pink came out of the solid cardstock, but they were enhanced with the ink pads. So khaki was used on the edge of that cactus, and hot pink was used on the edge of those cactus flowers. Just works really well. That little bow is out of the 1/8 inch ribbons, just a huge collection of colors right there for you. Now on the inside of this card, okay, another area of that first sheet is being used. And this is what we used on the front. Now this area is what Lene used on the bottom. So you've got the two opposite corners. So you've got the other two corners absolutely ready for you to use if you would like. And this is covering the whole card inside. Again, it has been inked with the gingerbread around the edges. And there is the die cuts. So this is You Are the Best Friend. That's been foam taped right there. So that area that it was a little more open has been used in both cases. Now, something else Lene has done is this spray, and I forgot to mention it on the first one. So this piece, she die cut out of that same green, and doesn't it look pretty on top of the pattern cardstock? Now, that flash of color that you're seeing, that is with the lime green Jewel Dazzles. And these are the tiny ones that were placed here on the artwork as well as on that die cut piece. And Lene likes to use the jewel picker. It's got the adhesive on the ends. It's got a narrow one and a bigger one on the other end, just like this. And the only trick to this is you kind of wiggle the dazzle. So push this down and just kind of wiggle it a little bit. And then you can just lift it. Come on, come on. You can lift it, and then you can position it wherever you want it to go. So that's going to be a really nice time saver. So I'm going to put this back. By the way, if this ends up getting where it's not sticky anymore, just wash it off with soap and water. Then it will revive it and get away from any maybe fibers that had picked up from your papers. Okay, so that is our first card. Now let's move to our second, and this is just a perfect example of that chipboard. But before we get into it, now in this one, again, it's a 5 by 6.5 inch card. Now Lene has used the 6 by 6 papers, so this is the sheet that she used. It's a very soft pink in the upper area. Now obviously the card is going to be a little bit bigger, so she did a double mat, and the first mat that she used is the rich gold, that is the Miri. And then she used a pink Miri. Now, I'm afraid that we're out of it right now, but literally it is supposed to arrive tomorrow. So you can, if it's still showing out of stock when this airs, you can just leave your email address and it will be in stock momentarily, and we'll certainly send you an email, let you know. So you can see that the pink was placed first and the rich Miri was matted behind this sheet. But the sheet doesn't go, of course, all the way. It just goes to the score line. So that's going to work nicely. And then we're going to get into the cutting die and the chipboard. Now, remember I said stuck on you is the text right here. Well, you can see it perfectly. She did it out of that rich gold, and it just looks really nice. Now, for the chipboard, okay. So we've got the chipboard in a couple of areas here. So right here, we've got a piece. There it goes right there. And then we've got this piece. So the cactus is already in the pot. It has a flower blooming off of it, but you also have a blossom down below, so you can add that. And what Lene used is holly green ink. And you can see that she's got it darker on the edges and lighter in the middle. And then she used pink petal, and that is going over her flowers. But what I am so impressed with is the lines that are here. Now, they do not go all the way through the chipboard, but they just go into it, and they just give you a beautiful, beautiful look. Instead of just the outline, you have all the detail, and you can make it as intricate as you want. You could go deeper in the centers and lighter on the edges, or the reverse. That works nicely. Now, for another little blossom, Lene has used these. These are the Elmira Precious Petals, and you can see a couple of shades of pink. She chose the brighter one to go right there. Now, for the inside of her card, she has taken another piece of the 6x6. It's this one, as you can see, and this has been trimmed down smaller than her card, so it's probably about 6 inches by 4.5 inches. Well, I guess it's about 6 inches here, so maybe 4.5 long. And you can see it's going to get trimmed off. Then again, she has edged it with the gingerbread, so that's going all the way around. Now, the Love You Always, this is another area from the 6x6. These are cutouts, and so you can see that she's taken this one, simply trimmed it out, and put it right here. She did edge it with the gingerbread. Then Love You Always, that's right there. So she did edge it again with the gingerbread, foam taped it on top. And then we've got a couple more of the larger blossoms, and these are coming from the cutting die right here. And again, she's done this out of the green and the pink cardstock. And let me just show it to you right here. So you've got the green and the pink, and then on the back side there are softer shades of those same green and pink should you want them. She used the same ink pads to color the edges, and that worked beautifully. So there you go. That is the 6x6. Now we're going to go into this card. This is I showed you briefly in the beginning. Here we go. And before we get into that surprise that's inside of it, I just want to show you what Lene has used. So in this case, she has taken, again, one of the 6x6. So through the cards, the idea is to show you just as much of the papers as we possibly can. So this is one with the yellow backing. So she has trimmed this to go on her card. So it's 6 inches long, and it is about 4.5 inches tall. And then she has matted it on the yellow that comes from the solid cardstock. So you see it right there. Glued that down. And then she took one of the die cuts, and this is the border. And here it is, so you can see that full border. Now she glued it at the top, just about 1/2 inch down from the fold, and then just trimmed off the edges. So that makes a really nice border. Kind of looks like it's holding the die cut tag, isn't it? And You Are My Smile Each Day, well, that's on the same sheet as the border, and she foam taped that. Now, she just tied a knot, and this is out of the gingham ribbon set, and zotted that in place, and that just really pops the pinks and the reds in the papers and just makes a really nice setting. Now, for the inside of the card, okay, you certainly see that really fun reveal, and that was done with the twisting pop-up card cutting dies. So there we go. Before we get to that, I do want to show you that she used the yellow. In fact, it's on the back. Remember this sheet was on the front? Well, on the back, you have this sheet. So what she did is she used 2 of them to go on the inside of her card. So one has been cut with the flowers in the upper left-hand corner, the other one with the flowers in the lower right-hand corner. Now, these have been edged with the gingerbread ink pad and then glued in place. But notice they do not go over the fold, because that way there's not going to be any buckling. So it just works really nicely. Now for this, let's see, I think one more thing let me tell you before we get to the cutting die is that this die cut is up here, just glued flat. And this little one is also on the sheet. And there it is. and that's been glued. So again, you've got the two flowers in opposite corners, and then you've got the die cuts in opposite corners. Everything is perfectly balanced, as you can see. Now, the twisting pop-up, as I said, comes from this cutting die. And let me just pull this apart so I can show you how this goes together. Let's see, I don't think I need to show you the dies because you can see them right there. There's 4 of them. And the mechanism is this piece. And actually, while we're here, let me just show you that these are fabulous folded dies. They come in an envelope, a wallet like this, and they have all the instructions in illustrations as well as in text. So you are just set. Plus, there is a sample card. So that's really, really nice. And what you'll do is you'll just follow the directions. So what you end up doing is taking this and folding it. And so this has a valley fold in the middle, and then it has a mountain fold on that side, mountain fold on that side. And then you're going to put extra sticky tape along those 2 triangles. And this is 1/2 inch wide. There's 2 pieces. Don't overlap them because you don't want that. And then you're going to push this, and you're going to have 1 piece of extra sticky here, turn it over, and put another one right there. So they're both on the left-hand side, okay? Then you're going to take this. This is another piece that we just die cut out. Fold it like you can see. It's accordion folded, mountain, valley, valley. And then find the middle part where the 2 folds are, and position that in the middle of this piece. Now, I'm not going to be taking the tape off, but I just want to kind of walk you through it. Again, the instructions are right there. So you peel that tape off, and you position this right there. Then you lift this other leg up, peel that off, and put it on that side. That's going to hold it in place. Then you position this about 1.5 inches from the top of the card, and you simply pull off that label, that extra sticky tape, and position this like so. And if your card is horizontal, like this one is, it might be easier for me to show you like this. So that's going to be, I stand corrected, it's going to be in the center of the card, okay? Just like that. So when you peel off the tape, simply place this down, peel off that tape, close it, and then when you open it, now obviously this isn't going to do it, but this will. So when you open it, it's going to expand. Then you're ready to play, and you can use these tags, cut 4 of them out as Lene did, and place 1 on each of the segments. Then, clever girl, she went into the cutouts. Remember this piece? I showed it to you earlier. We used that. Well, then she took several of them. So here we've got 1, and trimmed it down and simply placed it in that piece. Another one is right here. Another one, you can see that big heart, and then another one right there. And then all of those are from the sheet of greetings that's also in the book. So all of that just makes it work so well. So we're just going to close it. Look at that. It just collapses. How fun is that already? Now again, that is twisting pop-up card. Okay, I'm going to scoot these over, and let's get to our last card, because there's some fun things going on with this card that I want to share with you. Now this is a different card. Let me get my other Post-it out of there. Okay, so we've got a flap on the front, but it's not just an ordinary flap. Look what it's going to do. It's going to give us another greeting. How fun is that? And it is attached to the back of the card, and then you've got lots of room to write your message, or you could put another greeting there, whatever you like. So what you're going to do is you're going to take, this is the cutout, so let me bring that back. You know what? I think what I want to do is I want to just ignore that for just a minute. Let's go to this piece, because this is, again, remember how I said that that frame that I use? Well, for the front of the card, see my Post-it that says front, this was turned over and this was trimmed. And first of all, the card was covered with the green from the solid, and then this was glued in place. Again, some gingerbread was used on the edges, of course, before it was glued down. Then life can surprise you in unexpected beauty. A nice way to get our title in there, wasn't it? That's one of the cutouts, so very, very nice. And I have something to tell you about these too, so I don't want to forget that. So that became our card front. Now we'll ignore those little blue butterflies just for a moment. So that was our card front. Then what Lene did is she cut a piece of the pink cardstock and cut out this one. Remember, you just saw it in the smaller 6x6 version, but here it is in the big sister version. Again, she's edging it with the gingerbread and glued it to the pink, making a mat that's just a little bit larger, but then don't forget to add that 1/2 inch of the flap, okay? Because that's going to get taped with extra sticky tape to the back of your card. But on the inside of this, she used this one and Love You Always. So everything is within the sheets of the pattern pack, and that has been placed there. So it's just really fun. That bow, well, that bow comes from the magenta and dark pink set. It's just a really nice pop of color down at the bottom. So that blue and green and pink just really plays nicely. Now, going to the inside of the card, it is again another part of this same piece. Now remember, I had a post-it there. And here we go. So this has been cut, matted on pink. It was cut and gingerbread on the edges, then matted on the pink and placed on the inside. Again, that's just going to give you lots of room. Now, I talked about those butterflies, but I didn't talk about the sending warm thoughts. It turns out they come from the same place. This is called Card Inside Outside Primary Colors. And now Lene could have used the blue. Whoops, let's turn this around. But she chose to use the green. Now there's all colors in here. And doesn't that look pretty at the top of that area? So we have left empty space for you to fill with, just like Lene did, a dazzle, or you can use these large cutouts, or you can use anything you like. So it just works quite nicely. So that is our 4th card, and what a wonderful collection. So just to recap and to tell you about the surprise I have for you, let's see. Let me see. Okay, so we've got Unexpected Beauty 12 by 12. We have Unexpected Beauty solid cardstock, which is so important. We have the die cuts, which you've seen in full use. And we have the 6x6 right here. We have the chipboard, and you've seen that extra art on there, and the cutting dies. Now, remember the cutouts that are in the 12 by 12? Well, as a beginning, actually beginning right now, if you sign up to get our emails, you can sign up at the top or the bottom of the homepage. Every month you will get a free download. Every month it will match the papers that we are releasing. So this month it's matching the Unexpected Beauty. So whether or not you buy the collection or bits and pieces of it, you will still have this wonderful art and all those great sayings. So that's free, but it's only to people who sign up for our emails. If you've already signed up, don't worry, you'll get an email telling you when you can download it. And if you want to sign up, you'll get this, and then you also get a 20% off coupon to use one time. So that's nice. Now, speaking of nice, we also have subscriptions. Every month we release a brand new collection. Now, if you would like the collection, maybe you don't want the cutting dies, this is what we call it, I Want It All subscription. What you will get is the entire collection, and you will get it at 20% off retail. What a deal. And you will get it before the webisode. Now, what's great about that is that, as I've told you, there are ideas on the back of these packages. So you get ideas from the beginning, and that's what we like. Now, you also, maybe you really want those cutting dies, and I know most of you do. We have something else. It's called I Really Want It All. See, it's really, really want it all. And same deal, 20% off. You'll get it before the webisode, and the whole collection will come to you. And don't forget, if you get our emails, you're going to get that bonus of more cutouts in the download. So that's what we have. And this, as I've said, hopefully I said, this is from hot off the press, of course, and it too is ready for you right now. So Lene, as always, you've done a wonderful job. I love the extra touches that you've done, and I want to thank you. And also, if you're watching this on YouTube, we hope that you will like us. We hope you'll subscribe. And most importantly, we hope you'll come on over. There is a money saver. It's on the right-hand side of the screen, along with those subscriptions. You can take advantage. We want to give you a discount if you buy the whole collection, or you can pick and choose just whatever you like. By the way, you can leave comments down below. It's down far below, and you can click on any of the cards. The instructions are not there. Hopefully I've given you enough to reproduce them in the webisode, but all of the materials that were used are there, so that's just ready for you too. I want to thank you for joining us, and most importantly, thank you for being part of our Paper Witches family. We'll see you next time.